Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. Children, we have been learning about the industrialization in Britain, and later we moved on how this industrialization or industrial revolution got started from industry to industry. First, we have begun with coal and iron industry. Later, we have learnt about the spinning and weaving industry. Now, after the introduction of the steam power, there was a revolution that has took place in the transportation. Today, we discuss about the transportation, children. Yesterday, of course, I discussed with you about the invention of John McAdam. You remember who is he? McAdam? Macadamized roads. So this man started laying the roads with stone roads. So very pakka roads he started laying down, pakka roads, which we called it as macadamized roads. And canals were also initially built to transport the coal from the mining areas to the cities, and this was because coal was very heavy and required in large quantities to the company, and it is also very heavy. It is not that what we call easy to lift the load of coal. So its transport by road was much slower and more expensive than by the boats and canals. The demand for coal as industry's energy and for heating and lighting homes in cities was increasing. The first English canal was constructed across the Worsley Canal was first built by James Brindley. So it is a Worsley Canal. The first canal which was built was Worsley Canal. This was in the year 1761. And who built this Worsley Canal? It is built by James Brindley. So it was built to carry the coal from coal mines at Worsley near Manchester to that city, to the Manchester city. So after the canal was completed, the price of the coal also fell very drastically by half, and thousands of kilometers of canals were built later by 1830, and which was used as a transport commodities cheaply, and they were mostly built by the landowners to increase the value of their land also to their properties, because canal, when you dug from your land, you get the water and the transportation also gets increased. The first steam locomotive, that is Stephenson's rocket, was made available in 1814. Stephenson's rocket is the first locomotive which is a base for the railways. So later the new means of transportation called as railways got introduced because of the Stephenson's rocket, so which was available throughout the year. It was both cheap as well as fast, and it could carry passengers as well as goods. Railways can carry passengers and railways also can carry goods. So they combined two inventions, that is the iron track replaced by the wooden track in 1760, and the power of the steam engine, they have used it in this engine. So the invention of the railways took place with the process of industrialization to its second stage. So it has lifted because of the invention of the railways. Traveling for a longer distances and transporting the goods for a longer distances has become very easy. The first railway line was laid between Stockton and Darlington in 1825. The first railway line was laid down in 1825 between Stockton and Darlington. So it is a distance of 9 miles. In 1825, they have finished laying of the railway track, that is iron track. So they have completed the first journey in a span of 2 hours at a speed of 5 miles per hour. And the next railway line connected was Liverpool with Manchester in 1830. Within 20 years, these trains had started moving at the speed of 30 to 50 miles per hour. So previously at beginning it was only 5 miles per hour. In a span of 20 years, that speed per hour has increased to 50 miles per hour, and that brought a revolution in the transport sector. It was in 1830 the use of canals revealed several problems. Too many ships made the movement on canals slow. Another problem was that if there was a frost or flood or drought in the canal, the ships could not use it. If there is a shortage of water, in the situation of drought, you cannot use the canal water. And if there is a frost means during the winter conditions, they get completely frozen. In such condition also, you cannot make the ships workable. And even in the times of floods also, you cannot make the ships workable. So this is how the transportation also is a part of the industrial revolution. Tomorrow we will see how these all got impact on the lives of the people, on the workers. We will see in the next class, children. Thank you.